Hey. Wagwan, what y'all dealing with? So today, we got to dig a little bit further into the whole thing that happened with Ryan and Rodney Hinton. Because there's a couple more things that are coming out. And y'all, this is really getting everybody very emotionally charged, rightly so. There's a lot of things to consider with this. So we're going to dig into some stuff. So the first thing is the press conference that they had with the family. There was a lot of things that, the family was not going to get into and was not going to talk about just because there's a whole lot of open cases and stuff going on right now. But the main thing that you really felt when you listened to the family talk was just how much they loved their son, cousin, grandson, everything. And, even when they allowed the children to speak, which at first they wasn't going to do, but they let his sister get up there and speak. There was a lot of emotion behind that you really can't deny even if you wanted to.
Thank you for coming out. My name is Michael Wright. I'm going to introduce Mom, who is Tori Jackson, Grandma, which is Tanya Larkin, and Dad, which is Rodney Hinton Jr. Grandfather, excuse me. We're here because we represent the estate of Ryan. We're not here to talk about the incident that occurred with the police officer. We do offer our condolences to the officer and his family. But we were hired to represent this family to investigate the police-involved shooting of their son, Ryan. It's on Friday morning. We met with the police chief of Cincinnati, and we viewed the body cam video of what happened with the police-involved shooting with Ryan. We stayed at the chief's office for about an hour and a half, and what we saw was disturbing. The family was upset, as you can imagine, watching your son, watching your grandson, watching your loved one getting shot and killed by the police. We're trying to get the family some answers as it relates to what happened with that shooting.
Diamante Jackson, Ryan's big brother. He was real loving, like you felt his love.
I'm Rodney Hinton Sr. I want to give a condolence out to the officers that got killed, my whole family. I'm asking for forgiveness, and I've been praying hard for the officer that killed my grandson. I seen in the video about my grandson, I seen two scared people. I seen the officer scared, and I seen my grandson scared. It was like, I didn't see the police there try to kill. No. What I seen was two persons made a mistake. Said, please, everybody, just try to forgive everybody who done anything to anybody.
Long live Ryan. Long live Ryan.
We are very close family. This is killing us. I'm angry because it shouldn't have never happened. We as black people, we don't deserve to be killed just because we're running away from the police.
My name is Marlon. I'm Ryan's cousin. I want to say, Ryan, I'm so sorry. God, please watch over the rest of my family. I want to address all the negativity and saying he was being a stolen car, this and that. Listen, he was supposed to be at home that night and shit. Let me get this out. He had a bed to come home to. He slept in a car. He couldn't get in the house. All right. He called me between 12 and 1. He called me trying to get in. Text me. And I was asleep. Ryan, I'm so sorry. This was never supposed to happen to you. Ever. I'm so sorry, Ryan. Just know he wasn't supposed to be there.
When his cousin spoke, that really got to me because I'm not going to lie to you. Then you kind of have to look at this not as, a child that was a juvenile delinquent or somebody that stole a car, because honestly, he probably didn't even steal the car. Really, he probably was just in one of his friend's car and ended up in the situation that he was in. And to be honest with you, as it relates to him having a gun, he may have grown up in an environment where having a gun was normal. Who knows? But I know that this doesn't sound like the story of somebody who just was running around doing a whole bunch of criminal stuff, to be honest with you. It sounds like somebody who probably was in the wrong place at the wrong time and ended up paying for it. Speaking of family members, during the trial that Rodney Hinton had, his brother ended up getting caught up in the situation and trying to knock on the window and catch his brother's attention. And the police put hands on this man immediately. And everybody was not on that.
At the prior hearing before today, have a seat, man. Have a seat. Have a seat. Sit down. Sit down!
So, I mean, like, this is clearly excessive force for somebody who just knocked actually very quietly on the window, was not resisting moving away from the window or anything like that, and could really have just been told, hey, we don't want you to knock on the window, move away from the window. But they grabbed him up. He's pulling his shirt. You see them pulling him away, and multiple officers surround him as the situation begins to escalate. So, this is a very emotionally charged situation. And I think one thing that we have to look at before anything else is that certain things are triggers. Certain things like police automatically assuming that a black man has a gun or that they're trying to attack him is a trigger. Certain things as it relates to, police being able to get off scot-free is a trigger. Because one thing that y'all didn't notice is that the focus has been on the sheriff that got shot, but nobody has even mentioned the name of the police officer who actually shot Ryan Hinton. You didn't think about that. Because the whole thing is that the pressure was instantly off of him. And now the focus has been on everything that happened with Rodney Hinton and everything. But, the first wrongful action and the first wrongful death that was committed, the first wrongful murder that was committed was not by Rodney Hinton. It was by whatever that cop's name is that turned around and shot a young boy based off of his fellow officer saying he thought he heard a gun fall out of the young man's hand. So this is a situation that's hard for me to look at just from a neutral perspective, because there are a lot of things that are very triggering as it relates to, us as a people and the things that we've gone through and some of the traumatic things that we've gone through as it relates to police. And of course, we can say the officer that was shot or the sheriff deputy that was shot was not the one that actually shot Ryan. It ended up being a situation of a father who didn't have a venue or avenue to really be able to express what he felt as far as it relates to his son being killed. And clearly this being an unlawful shooting of somebody who at the very most could have got arrested or could have had, jail time, but he didn't deserve death. When you look at the situation as it relates to a father who now has to be faced with that, who now has to be faced with, my son is not here because somebody made a rash decision and ended up killing him. You know what I'm saying? And this is not to necessarily justify or say, yeah, you should just go around killing people. But I think that we don't have really an alternative. What alternative do we really have? Because I understand what Rodney Hinton's father was saying and saying, well, we just got to pray for them or we just got to forgive them. But I'm not going to lie to you. That is most likely not going to be the thing that's going to be fulfilling enough to a father who just lost his son in order to just be okay with that. It's too much anger. It's too much frustration. It's too much grief. It's too much pain to think that you can just find a way to just cloud it out and shut it out. We as a people don't really come up with alternatives We don't come up with ways to, get through our grief and our pain and our tragedy and our, trauma. We don't come up with ways to do that. We don't come up with ways to understand what we actually feeling. We don't come up with ways to do that. We don't come up with ways that's going to be sufficient when it comes to feeling betrayed. We don't come up with that. And because we don't, then we can't say anything when it's expressed the way that it is. The last thing that I wanted to talk about was GoFundMe. Check this out. GoFundMe ended up writing an apology letter to the police department because they said they never should have let Rodney Hinton have a GoFundMe account. That's the craziest thing I ever heard. I've never heard of that in all my years of life, to where they actually apologized to the police department for allowing him to have an account. Do you know how many people, even if you want to go past all of the racist killers and all of this stuff who got away with stuff, who was allowed to have GoFundMes and all of this stuff, I'm talking about people who set up GoFundMes to buy their kid a TV. People who set up GoFundMes to do all type of stuff. And y'all are literally going to shut this one down just because of this ongoing investigation, which is kind of like, at the end of the day, whether he ends up going to jail or not, his family being able to get the money from a GoFundMe is the thing that's the most important. And I think that them going out of their way to send an apology letter for this was crazy. That was some wild shit. I mean, like, that's crazy. Man, I think that this is going to be something that is really going to be very emotionally charged. There's been a lot of build up for this situation. There has been a whole lot of situations happening leading up to this, and there will be something that comes out of this from what I'm seeing. I really do feel like, you know what I'm saying, with all of the things that's surrounding this case, this will not be the last we hear about it. Once we hear all of the, final word as far as what's going to happen, just everybody be careful, because it's going to be some stuff that's going to come out of that. So this has been a lot, and this has been a lot in the past couple of days, even just kind of looking into the information, where I'm finding myself, not even able to be impartial to this situation. I'm having to really look into this very seriously, and I hope that y'all look into this information as well. But y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all go ahead and drop y'all's opinions in the comments. Y'all know I always read them and I always love to hear them. So let me know what y'all think about this particular situation and everything that's coming out about it. If y'all even have heard some information that I didn't hear, go ahead and drop it in the comments as well. And leave my social media information right here like I always do, so that you guys can go ahead and tell me what y'all think. I want y'all to check out all the other posts and things that I have on those pages, and let me know what y'all think about those too. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and put my YouTube information right here as well, so y'all can go ahead and subscribe to my channel and check out all the other videos that I have on there, and also be privy anytime that I do post another video. But in the meantime, in between time,